Alright, so today we're going to start on lesson for day 32, factor the GCF. This is something you've seen before, greatest common factor. So we've been talking about how we multiply things, we simplify, we bring them together. Okay, factoring is when we break it apart, okay? We do the opposite. It's kind of like dividing, but we're breaking things apart. Does that make sense, what factoring is? Or think of it this way, let's say there's like people fighting outside, and it's a big mess, and then they kind of like start wrestling each other.
Unless one of them runs away.
Well, let's just say they're wrestling each other. They're really latched onto each other, right? You're like, factoring would be like you trying to break them apart. Like, stop it, guys, stop it, stop it. Okay, that would be you. Right, that would be you factoring. Okay, breaking the fight apart. Does that make sense? Can you all think of that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Breaking it apart. Alright, so if you're on the video, you should write this down, which is the steps. And here we go. Numbers 1 and 2. This should go pretty quickly, so I want to show you this. And by the way, this lesson is like an Algebra 1 lesson. I want to make sure you get this because we're going to do something more difficult, of course. So I want to make sure that we get these on the 13th or 12th, next week. Okay? So 20n to the 11th plus 8n cubed plus 48. Okay, so we're looking up here. So when I look at this, I want to take a look at all my terms. I have this term, and I have this term, and then I have this term. And I want to see some common things I see in them. I know that they're all even. If I look at the coefficients, 20 and positive 8 and positive 48, all of them are even. So I know 2 goes at least in there. So that 2 is at least a factor. But let's see if 4 would work. 4 goes in 28 and 48. That's good. What about something larger like 8? Does 8 go in all of them? No, it doesn't go into 20. So then I know that at least 4 could come out. So I would write down 4 as a factor. And then I notice that there's n's here and here, but there's no n here. So I can't really take that out. So unfortunately, I can't take out an n here. So I'm going to write this, and then I'm going to divide. I'm going to think, what's 20n to the 11th divided by 4? Well, it's 5n to the 11th. Okay, then I look at my next term, what's 8n to the 3rd divided by 4? Good, positive 2n to the 3rd. And I want to answer my questions with a positive or negative. And then I look at the last one, what's 48 divided by 4? What? Positive or negative 12?
No, positive 12.
Positive 12. Okay, and that's it. And that's number 1. I can't do anything else. So that's all we're doing today. Okay, we're breaking it apart. We're not simplifying, because if we were to simplify, we'd multiply this out. Okay? And then you want to check your work, guys, up here. So we want to see, like, what's 4 times 5n to the 11th? 20n to the 11th, right? 4 times 2n to the 3rd? 8n to the 3rd. 4 times 12? Positive 48. You all see that? Yes, sir.
If the exponents can be like divided by 4, we do that too.
Yeah, if you have common exponents, or I'm sorry, common terms that have exponents, then yeah, you could take those out. So let's look at number 2. Number 2 is going to hopefully answer your question. So number 2, we have 3x squared y to the 5th minus 24x cubed y minus 6x squared y. So we want to look at we have 3 terms here, 2 and 3. We want to look at our coefficients first. I'm thinking, what goes into 3? Negative 24, negative 6. Is there anything? Yeah, I think 3 goes in there, so I could take out a 3. Okay, then I look at my variables. I got x's and y's here. We got x squareds, right? X cubed and x squared, so that's good. And all 3, so I know I could take out an x. So the way I do it is I look at my x's. Look up here, and you think about what's the smallest exponent. What's the smallest exponent that's up there? 2. So I could take out x squared from here. So then I would take that out, right? And then I'm looking at my y's, focusing. I'm like, oh, cool, there's y's in all 3 terms, right? So what's the smallest exponent of all 3 y's? Y to the 1st, or just y. Okay? So then I'll put y. Open parenthesis, and then I have to divide, okay? So what's 3x squared? Y to the 5th. This could be a little harder size up here when you do this. 3 divided by 3 is just 1. X squared divided by x squared cancels out. Y to the 5th divided by y is going to just be 1y to the 4th. Okay? That's all that's left from this first term. Then I do the next term. Negative 24 divided by 3 is negative 8. Okay? Then we got x cubed divided by x squared is x. Y divided by y just cancel out. That's all I have left here. Okay? So then we got negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 3 is going to be negative 2. Okay, and then x squared divided by x squared is just by itself, and y divided by y, it's by itself. So that's it. Okay, and I also want to check my work. Oh, sorry. So I want to check my work here. I'm going to box it, right? I just asked myself, what's 3x? You guys listening? I'm trying to teach you right now. 3x squared y times y to the 4th is going to be 3x y to the x squared y to the 5th. That works. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. X squared y times x is going to be x cubed y. That works. 3x squared y times negative 2 is negative 6x squared y. So it works. So I know I did it correctly. Okay? Does that make sense? So we learned how to multiply yesterday, or relearned really. It's stuff we should know already. Today we're factoring. Factoring again, breaking apart. It's like you're breaking apart the fight. You're saying, stop it, guys. Stop it. Okay? That's like a horrible analogy. What?
Our society as teenagers nowadays, we just get out our phones and film it and watch it happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you should stop the fight.
We world star.
Okay, anyways. So take a moment. Let's have you talk about this. Let's have next one, number 3. Okay, so number 3 we have 30p cubed plus 5p squared minus 10p plus 40. Okay? You know how much I love math chat, so why don't you turn to your neighbors and chat about what the GCF is and how you would strategize to do this, okay? Ready, go. Okay? So let's have you kids work it out with your group. So you should have taken out, right, a 5. Yes? Okay, good. So you should open parentheses. What's my first term, everyone? Good. 6p cubed. Next term? P squared, right? But we have to think about it. I want you to always answer it as positive or negative. So next term is what? Good, right? Because we want to make sure we have positive p squared. Otherwise our problem will look bad. Yeah, but that's fine. You can put 1p squared, but remember anything times 1 is itself. So it's redundant to put the 1 there. But that's okay. Okay? Next term, everyone? Negative 2p in the last term? Good, positive 8. Good. Okay? So that's number 3. Let's keep going. Number 4. Okay? This one, let's do a math chat for 15 seconds to do a strategy. Okay? Tell your neighbors what you would do for this one. Okay, so this time you're going to think by yourself and work this out by yourself. No talking. This one you're not working. I mean, this one you're not talking. You're working by yourself. Okay? Everyone's doing this one by themselves. That's good. You have to think about what you have to think about. Okay, let's see what we got. So, everyone, what's my GCF? What's my GCF? 3n, right? Good. What's 18n to the 5th divided by 3n? 6. Good, 6n to the 4th. Okay, what's negative 3n cubed divided by 3n? Good, negative n squared. Excellent. Good, negative 15n squared divided by 3n is? Negative 5n. Good. And then the last one, what's 3n divided by itself? Positive 1, right? That's it. Okay. Can it be positive what? No, that would be wrong. because 3n times 1n is not equal to 3n. It would be equal to 3n squared. So we want to make sure we don't put 1n. Yes, sir?
How do you know, like, when to take out the n? Like,
Well, on this one we didn't take out a p on number 3. You see, because there's no p on this last one. You see, a p has to be in all terms, right? You see on number 4 that there's an n at least in all terms. Yeah, good question. That's how we know. Okay. All right. Next one. Next one. Number 5. Okay. All right, kids. So on this one, what's the
9m squared.
what's the GCF?
9m squared.
Okay, good. 9m squared, right? Because if I look at this, if I look at my two coefficients here, 9 goes in each of them, so we know at least there's 9, and then there's an m in each of these, right? What's the smallest exponent? M squared, right? So I'm going to write m squared. Now, is there an n in both terms? No, so we can't do that. Okay, so what's my first term when I factor it?
3m.
Okay, 3m, and then second term?
2m.
Plus 2n, and that's it. Okay? Make sense? Some of you are still fumbling through this. That's okay. That's why we're going through this again, because it's going to get more complicated soon. Okay, cool. Next one, number... Oh, and by the way, on this, always make sure you multiply it out, like I'm showing that here. Okay? You know, multiply it back, right? 9m squared times 3m is 27m cubed. 9m squared times 2n is going to be 18m squared n. Okay? Last one, number 6. Go. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the same one as number 2? I made a mistake. Dang it.
It's
I
alright.
didn't fix
don't worry
this.
about it.
Okay. Let me pick a new one for you. Ready? Let's do 12. A, B cubed minus 48 A squared B squared plus 64 A cubed B. Okay? Okay, so on this one, what is our GCF? Positive 4A. So we're going to take out 4A. And what else? Good. There's a B in all of them too, right? All right. Okay, so now we have to think about what's 12AB cubed divided by 4AB? 3B squared. Good. Next one. Okay, next one's going to be negative 12AB. Good. Last one. Plus 16A squared. That's it. Okay? Basic factoring of the GCF. That concludes the lesson. So...